What's going on, everybody? I found a golden nugget, and this golden nugget is from 2014. It's an interview with Michael Jordan while he was the owner of the Bobcats. And he's being asked, multiple questions. The interview is about 4 minutes, the part that I found. And he explains, how tough it is being an owner, how he can't influence the game the way he wants to influence the game and the way he was able to used to influence it. How he still dreams about the seventh ring. And he also says that he made a particular roster decision while the owner of the Bobcats to be able to compete with LeBron James. And that was interesting to me. I mean, the whole interview is interesting, don't get me wrong, but that was an interesting part because Michael Jordan, even though he wasn't on the court, at that time, LeBron James was in Miami and he wanted to compete against LeBron James through the means that were available to him. So I'm going to let you listen to this interview because this is interesting and I think you're all going to like it. And I'll be back right afterwards.
How hard was it for you in the beginning when you have the worst team in NBA history, you have loss after loss after loss, you being Michael Jordan? How hard was that for you to deal with?
It's hard because, I was coming from a situation where I can impact the game totally different. When I'm in shorts and tennis shoes, I can determine what the outcome is. As an owner, you live vicariously through the investments and the accesses that you have. So, and that's very tough. But it's good that, you can take all that in and learn and start to make changes and start to get on the other side of it. My competitive juices never wavered at all. I never looked at anything else or getting out. I just wanted to win, and I was going to do everything I could possibly do to get on the other side.
What's the hardest part about being an owner? Something that going in you didn't know?
That you can't impact the game. You cannot impact the game the way you want to impact the game. I played this game for a long time, and I always took criticism in a way that's going to make me better as a basketball player, and I can affect the game per se. Here, I can't do that other than talking to my different employees or talking through the coaches or talking to the players. And that's one voice removed from activity, whereas I didn't have to talk to anybody. I can actually go do it. That is so hard, Darren. It's unbelievably hard from a competitor that hates to lose, has a voice and an opinion that's so strong, and held myself to a very high standard.
How much did you think in the beginning that you could call up a free agent and say, I'm Michael Jordan, and that's going to mean a lot for you to come in?
Well, I never looked at it that way, because those are tough decisions. In some ways, those are hard, conversations for me because I think, I never like to influence or tell people what to do and what not to do. I can only tell you what we're trying to do as an organization. At the end of the day, you can either choose to be a part of it or not.
What was your pitch to Lance Stevenson?
We need someone that can compete against LeBron. Simple as that. I don't know if the antics were one of those things, but the thing was, I love the way you compete against LeBron. And to me, that's a plus. Because if you only get out of the East, you want to get past Cleveland. At the time it was Miami, you got to beat LeBron. So we're willing to take a gamble with you if you're willing to take a gamble with us. Next thing you know, he's with us.
Did you allow yourself to dream about that seventh ring?
I'm always dreaming about that seventh ring, always. And to get to that would be much more gratifying than the six, all the other six that I've actually won. Because it was the six that I actually won, I impacted from a whole different angle. Now I'm impacting from a totally different perspective And it's not as much fun, but it's a lot harder.
How hard is it for you to watch a game?
I love watching. I'm a fan of the game of basketball. Am I remiss that I couldn't play right now against some of the talent? Yeah, that's competitive nature. But I love the game, and I love watching it. I am a steward of the game. I want the game to be respected in all facets. I'm willing to contribute to in whatever way possible to make sure that the perception of the game is held appropriately from a player standpoint, and to some degree from an owner standpoint. So I'm in the business because I still love the game of basketball. And if I lost the love for the game of basketball, I'm pretty sure I would get out.
So now that you've listened to this, you know what Michael Jordan's state of mind was while he was the owner. Even though he couldn't play anymore, and he repeated throughout this whole interview multiple times that he missed the way that he could influence the game while he was in shorts and on the court. Because being an owner, you can only talk to the people that work for you. You can talk to the players. You can't directly impact the game. And you can only try to kind of transfer your way of thinking, your work ethic, and your approach to the game to the players and the staff and everything else. But not everybody is going to have that approach, ever. Michael Jordan also said that he made a roster move on the Bobcats that was made simply and only because he wanted to be able to have a player on his team to compete with LeBron James while LeBron James was in Miami. This was in 2014 or 2013. He probably speaks about a season earlier or whatever, because the interview was I think taped in 2014 while Michael Jordan was the owner of the Bobcats. But it's interesting because he was not able to play. His team wasn't doing that great, and his competitive juices was still going so strong. He was trying to figure out how can I approach the build of the team to be able to at least compete with the Miami Heat and be able to have a player that could go against LeBron James, at least in a certain part, maybe get under his skin, because he saw how Lance Stevenson got under LeBron's skin before, and he loved the way that Stevenson competed against LeBron James because he never backed down from him. And that's what Michael Jordan thinks is a big positive in a player. That's the kind of thing that he treasures in people. That's why he loved Kobe so much, because Kobe went against Mike when he was a youngster, when he came into the league, but there was no fear in him. And that's why Michael Jordan respected him and developed a great relationship with him, because he was cut out of the same cloth that Michael Jordan was. And Lance Stevenson might not have had the career that Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan had, but his mentality was that he would not back down from anybody. He would go at anybody. And if you know anything about Lance Stevenson, before he got to the NBA, oh man, he was a beast. He was a beast. So the interview overall is very interesting, because another thing that Michael Jordan mentioned was that he always wants to contribute to the game. He wants to contribute to making sure that the game is respected, treasured, and properly treated, because he loves the game. And I think the game today is so mistreated and used to further players' brands and all that other stuff. And a lot of players simply don't play for the love of the game like Michael Jordan did, but they simply play because it's a doorway for them to be able to do what they want to do after their careers are over. And a lot of players have that approach. A lot of them. They create a brand, They promote the brand by playing and being an NBA player, and create a lot of businesses on the side thanks to being an NBA player. And that's what they use it for, and not necessarily for the love of the game. And the game is not usually the first thing, the most important thing in their life anymore. It's the other things. It's in online influence. It's money on the side. It's deals and that and this and that and their brand overall. That's what is being treasured by players today, most of them at least. And they don't approach it with the love that Michael Jordan did and the players before, because they love to load manage. If today's players, if they could skip a game and just sit out and still get paid for it, most of them wouldn't even mind. While, 90s, 80s players, they would do anything to play, even for free. It's a totally different approach, completely different mental approach to the game. But I thought this interview was a golden nugget. I haven't seen it before, and it was worth sharing with you guys. So I hope you liked it. If you did, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.